Welcome. So we want today to look at the colors and color schemes. There are a lot of options. You can customize virtually every color, and there are these specific color schemes which are also customizable, but allows you to create a sort of instant arrangement. Now, some of these color schemes are for just your preference, and some are for showing the actual strength of the planets. And you can apply the color scheme to all the pages. I call that the global color scheme. And you can also apply it to a page or to a particular chart or table or graph. So there are two ways of accessing the options. One is just to click somewhere, and then you get this dialog. You click the home button and then go to global colors, then you'll see the color options. So this is color scheme for this object. I clicked on the chart. You've got the global color scheme, the page color scheme. There are in fact 4 color schemes that you can separately create and have stored for the main screen, and another 4 for printouts, just in case you wish to become very creative. And here you can choose which of these you're working with. Here you can edit it, so you get this dialog, and I'll show you this dialog in more detail in a minute. Then you can have actually alternating rows with different colors in the tables. So this one here, table rows of alternating text and number color, that is one of the options. Definitely some people would prefer one with more color and some will prefer with less color. So we click done. You'll see now all the rows have the same fundamental color apart from the color coding of the planets. Now another way to see the options is to right click, and there you see towards the top we have the global color scheme, the page color scheme, and color scheme for this. It's also possible to make a page or an object transparent. So if we go to the page color scheme, any of these 3, you'll see all the color schemes are listed here. You get the same list in the choices and options after clicking, but here you don't even have to click. So the first one is what I call the natural color scheme, which is where Mercury is green, Saturn is blue, and so forth, and that's what you see on the screen at the moment. Now the dignity color scheme is where the coding is done based on the Parashari dignities. That means exaltation, own sign, great friend, friend, neutral, enemy, great enemy, and debilitated. So there are multiple levels. Then there's the dignity traffic light scheme, where this is compressed into 3 levels. Obviously red, orange, and green. It's based on the same dignities, but it's compacted together. And there's the multi-factor scoring. Multi-factor scoring is really quite a long list of different factors, which a typical astrologer will take into account to assess the strength of a planet, and all of these things are computed, and then a score is generated, and that is given a color coding. Then there's a scheme for those following Pandit Aya, a scheme for those following the systems approach, and then all of the rest of them are various versions of monochrome. So the first one is mono by group. So if I select mono by group, so you see that the ascendant is a different color from the planets, which are all one color. If we add something, say, the Aruda Lagna, we'll see it's come out in a little different color. And there are a few colors. We'll look at the various colors. And it's basically grouping the objects that you could have in a chart into a natural groupings, which are then colored with a specific color. So we go back to this color scheme, and we select one of the other ones, you see. So if you select one of these, this is where you could choose any color you like, but everything on the screen will come out that color. And here's some presets: black, white, red, green, blue, gold. And after choosing a color for the planets, you would probably want to adjust the background color, or you want to edit the colors which are appearing in the scheme. So then we just click here, and this is the same dialog as I showed you a moment ago. And what you do at the top is you just select the thing you want to edit. So we're doing mono by group, and then you see the various choices here. So there's the ascendant, planets, upagrahas, arudas, bhavas, and other things. Now you can edit everything here. For example, here we have a variety of extras like Munta, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and then the mono text and bars in graphs which aren't otherwise colored. Then we have various lines that appear in the graphs. You have some other colors, degrees in charts and so forth. And then you have the primary headings, that's the main native, the transit native, native 2, other native headings, and chart and table outlines. So there's lots of different things you can modify. And if you want to modify something, you just click on it and you get this dialog, and then you choose something. Suppose you want a sort of light color, like a silver, for the outline of the chart. So we click here, and you'll see that it's all being previewed for you. Whatever you select in this dialog is previewed on the screen, but if you click cancel, it goes back to where it was. So you can't mess up. If you click OK, you've got it. You can reset to default, but until you click OK, it's previewing it for you. So if we go back to this dialog, we can see some of these other options. So let's look at the Parashari dignity scheme. So you can see this is the default. You can change it, but it goes from exalted, which is a sort of golden kind of color, and it works its way down to blue, which is neutral, it's in the middle. Then enemy is sign of not a wonderful green, and debilitated is quite purple. So this is the default, and these are the 6 levels. If we look at the Aya approach, then we see there's yogi, avayogi, duplicate yogi, other planets, Dagda Rashis. So the Rashis can in some places be colored. It depends, what you're looking at. These are some of the various things. The multi-factor scoring has the same, essentially exactly the same as the default for the Parashari, only now it's in terms of very strong, somewhat strong, neutral, weak, and very weak. Now, if we want to change the chart background, we can just click here and we can choose something else. You can choose either from these base colors or from the complete spectrum of possible colors. So we choose a sort of very faint green, and here you get the strength of the color. You've probably seen dialogues like this in other softwares, and you can add this to the custom colors, and then you get this effect. And you can change the actual background of the screen to something else, maybe a darker green. So then you decide that, no, I've gone too far or something. I mean, I've seen websites that look just like this, but if you click cancel, then we're back where we started. So this is very easy to set up the colors. And like I say, you can set up a single page with one color scheme or a single object with one color scheme. For example, if we click on this and we say color scheme for this, and then we say multi-factor scoring, now we can see rather clearly who's strong and who's weak. And this is based on multiple factors. So it's not always immediately obvious at first glance, because it's taking into account to some extent things that we can't see, like Navamsha position, Nakshatra Lord, and so forth. And you can do the same thing for the dashas, exactly the same thing. So you can see, strong planets and weak planets going on at different phases of life, and you can correlate with the experiences that the person has. So it's a wonderful research tool and very convenient. So I hope you enjoyed this, and feel free to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.